We've spent the last few years living in the era of the co-pilot. You type a prompt, and a language model types a response. It writes an email, summarizes a meeting, or generates a snippet of code. But there is a hard limit to this workflow. These tools save us minutes at a time, but they have zero agency. They sit completely idle until a human tells them exactly what to do next, requiring constant supervision to function. This graph illustrates the problem. Notice how the initial productivity gains from AI adoption rise sharply, but then abruptly flatline. Meanwhile, the human effort required to operate these systems stays high. We hit a productivity ceiling. As long as artificial intelligence relies entirely on human prompts to move forward, it remains a reactive tool. It is a highly capable calculator, but it isn't a workforce. At Microsoft Build 2026, the technology industry's focus officially shifted. Investors are now projecting valuations upwards of $2 trillion for leading AI firms, and that capital is betting on a specific architectural leap. We are moving past models that simply answer questions and entering the era of autonomous agents, systems designed to execute complex, multi-step work entirely on their own. An agent operates differently than a chatbot. You give it an overarching goal, and from there it plans its own actions, coordinates workflows across different business applications, and takes independent steps to get the job done. The organizations that capture this multi-trillion-dollar economy won't be the ones with the smartest conversational chatbots. The competitive advantage belongs strictly to those who deploy actual, proactive execution at scale. To see how this works mechanically, think about the difference between a prompt and a goal. Asking an AI to draft an email is a prompt. Asking it to produce the Q3 preliminary sales forecast is a goal. To accomplish that goal, the agent maps a sequence across CRMs and spreadsheets. Built on a mixture of experts architecture, tasks delegate to specialized models. A triage agent classifies requests, a knowledge agent finds data, and a resolution agent drafts slides. They pass work along chronologically. Modern enterprise computing relies on orchestrating a highly specialized digital team rather than pinging a single omniscient AI. But the software doesn't operate in a vacuum. Agents require deep context about how a company actually runs. Using frameworks like frontier tuning, organizations embed their own domain knowledge and compliance rules so agents understand their unique environment. Autonomous reasoning also demands an enormous amount of physical processing power. Tech giants are aggressively overhauling their hardware to keep up. They are deploying specialized Azure Cobalt virtual machines and pushing forward the massive Stargate infrastructure project to handle extreme computational loads. The physical footprint required to train and host these multi-agent ecosystems is staggering, requiring continuous capital investments that sprawl across vast data centers. Moving to agentic AI requires rewiring the physical reality of enterprise computing, from the electrical grid to the server racks. As the infrastructure scales, enterprise performance metrics the logistics. Yet delegating actual business execution to software introduces massive operational risk. An agent with the power to rewrite code or access financial databases could cause catastrophic damage if it hallucinates or goes rogue. That's why deployment requires portable runtime governance. Organizations are implementing boundary systems, like Microsoft's Agent Control Tower, to observe and secure every action an agent attempts across the network. For high-stakes workflows, these systems trigger human-in-the-loop approval gates. The agent does the heavy lifting, but hits a hard pause, waiting for a human manager to review the audit log and authorize the final transaction. Without ironclad zero-trust governance, software autonomy is economically useless and incredibly dangerous. Organizations that master both this autonomy and this governance are reaching a new operational tier. They become what is known as a frontier firm. Traditional buyers treat AI as a software subscription. Frontier firms actively weave human employees and autonomous digital agents together into a single, unified operating model. The competitive edge in 2026 belongs to the businesses that stop treating AI as a reactive tool and start trusting it to execute as a true team member.